Riding on the back of a garbage truck, fully naked in the middle of New York City.
I want the album.
It's the 10 to 1 podcast with your host, Brad Oman, featuring Ben Konowitz and Nate Loucks. And here's the podcast.
I wish our listeners would know what it takes just to get to that point of the podcast.
You have no idea how long it takes.
We have to take podcast Viagra.
It's so difficult to get on the same page.
Oh my gosh.
We just have Brad do his best Don
Pardo.
Brad and I have been out of town this weekend.
We have.
We flew in. We got here about an hour ago, and now we're recording because we got to get this done.
Yeah, we know you out there, all thousands of listeners are hungry for some SNL review and recap.
So we're recording this on a Monday night. We normally record on Sunday because we were in Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
How is Provo?
Provo's Provo, you know.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
Yeah, the escort scene is a little dour, but
unless you want someone to actually just escort you home, then they have plenty of people to do that.
You know what? The thing about Provo, they shut down on Sundays. There's really not a lot going on Sundays.
And it's not just Provo, but it's a lot of Utah.
A little bit of Mormonism going on out there, which is fine. Nothing wrong with it.
Have they ever had a Mormon cast member of SNL?
Mitt Romney, 87 to 88.
Good question.
right after those Dick Ebersol years, he came in and really kind of revitalized the show.
But we're back, and we're back to talk about the Emma Stone episode.
Yes, that's right. Emma Stone returned to Saturday Night Live to join the Five Timers Club.
Correct. Yeah, you know this if you're an SNL fan, but Five Timers is kind of an elite club. How many have they had now? Do you know?
I think Emma Stone just became the
24th member.
I think 25th, actually, isn't it?
Ooh, that's a good.
Sexy.
I don't know. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
It's 24 or 25.
Yeah. It's just
it's
over
not
a couple.
Ton, then, really, for as many
dozen.
hosts as they've had.
No, not at all.
How many other women have been Five Timers?
Oh, that's a good question.
Good question.
Yeah, thank you. I came up with that.
Good question.
Well, Candice Bergen.
Brad gets a point.
He did say, okay, Tina Fey. They did say other than those two, but that's fine.
Who else are the go-to?
So there are two 6-time hosts that
are femme fatales.
Yep, and then there's another 5-time host.
I'm gonna say Julia Sweeney.
No,
just joking. I'm just joshing you guys around. I'm just joking.
Amy Poehler.
No, Amy Poehler surprisingly was only hosted twice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Where's Kristen Wiig at on
I think she's 4. She's on the
cusp.
So
there are two 4-timers.
Gotcha.
Kristen Wiig is one of them. 2 female 4-timers.
Maya Rudolph.
Nope. You're never going to get this one. Lindsay Lohan.
Oh,
that makes sense.
And she was very good whenever she hosted too. That's
up until the last one.
Sure, but but
previously though, she was awesome.
Yeah, she
was like
Emma
similar.
Stone. Yeah, I was gonna say similar in that way. Okay, so who else?
Emma Stone.
Okay, so you've got Emma Stone, Candice Bergen, Tina Fey, and then do you want me to give it to you?
All
right. Sure.
Drew Barrymore.
That's right.
Yep.
Scarlett Johansson has done 6.
Oh.
She met her husband on the show.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
And Melissa McCarthy has done 5.
Of course.
There we
nice.
Go. All
yes,
right.
very nice.
Wonderful.
So yeah, where do you want to start with? Like we always start with the cold open, right?
Sure. George Santos expelled cold open, written by Josh Patton, Colin Jost, and Allison Gates. George Santos, played by the talented Bowen Yang, belts out a catchy tune about getting kicked out of Congress. Joining him are Andrew DeSmukes, Heidi Gardner, Devin Walker, and Mikey Day as intrepid reporters. As Sarah Sherman plays Wolf Blitzer. I got another quiz for you. I've got a lot of quizzes.
Quiz for us.
The Situation Room has appeared in 10 sketches since 2006. Wolf Blitzer's Situation Room. This is according to SNLarchives.net, which is a site I often use to prepare for the show. Which cast members have played Wolf Blitzer in The Situation Room?
Jason Sudeikis.
He's my number.
Yep.
Number one.
The most. He has played it the most. From 2009 to 2013, Jason Sudeikis played it like 5 times.
Yeah. I feel like Jill Hammond had to do it, maybe.
Daryl Hammond in 2007. Good job.
Yeah.
There are 3. Well,
Beck Bennett,
correct, in 2020. Nice. So you've got Sarah. We'll count Sarah Sherman because she did it this time. 1 more in 2006.
2006. Tricky.
Chris Parnell.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, you are correct. That is all of the Wolf Blitzers that has appeared on the show.
Guys, I'm just gonna take the rest of the episode
No,
off.
you did it.
Because
You did it.
that's about the best
Perfect.
it's ever gonna be.
Perfect.
All right, we've talked about this before. Political cold opens. This is going to be the season now for the next year. George Santos, Bo and Yang does a good George Santos. I'll give him that. What did you guys think of the concept of this one?
Easily the best political cold open they've had all season. For me, George Santos is kind of like the outlier because whenever Bo and Yang plays George Santos, it's really funny and he's very easy to lampoon. There's a lot to mine there comedically, and so
let me ask you why. We talk about how nothing is stranger than the truth these days.
Yeah.
And so George Santos is insane. There's so much weird stuff.
Yeah.
So why can we then lampoon him where you can't lampoon somebody as outlandish as Trump necessarily?
I think what it is
a good question, man.
the outlandish things that Trump does are also diabolical and heinous, whereas Santos is just
It seems more silly.
Yeah, she's just making up like lies that are so easily provable to be false, and so embellishing those lies is only funnier because you're just making up more ridiculous things.
Trump does some of that as well, but I also think we're
not
just
ending the
tired of
country.
Trump. We're just tired of it, and so Santos is a different character. Bo and Yang does it really, really well.
Did you just pull out a baby from the piano?
I think the other thing is Santo looks like a drag queen who is also a fish.
It's just easy to lampoon his look.
Yeah, like he's got wet lips and like this slick back hair and like just real puffy cheeks.
Does that sound a little Al Gore-ish to you? Wet lips.
Wet lips.
Wet lips.
Sometimes he licks
George
his
Santos has wet lips.
lockbox.
But yeah, I really I especially like that it went from the typical press conference arena to Bo and Yang doing this Elton John ditty,
Vamping. Yeah,
and I gotta say too, I think that it is infinitely more difficult to do a very well-known tune where you're fitting in words that don't fit in rhythmically and still end up in the part that does sound like the actual rhythm of the song. Because he
did a great job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really like this actually.
I just feel like Bo and Yang has a future on the show.
You've said it a couple of times.
He's very
He's
good.
great. No, that way it was fantastic. I really I laughed hard, which is obviously the goal of the show. But also, like Brad said, I respected that. That's really hard to do.
Yeah.
I try to look at, like, before we record, it is like Ben said, we're doing this on Monday, so the numbers are a little different. But I try to look at the YouTube channel to see which of the sketches have the most views, because that kind of usually
it's not a be all end all, but it's a good litmus
it kind of
test.
shows a little bit of what's getting a lot of traction and went viral. And I looked back, and it's surprising because SNL doesn't always upload their sketches in the order that it appears
definitely not.
on the show, right? Cold Open might not be uploaded until the fourth one of the night. So it's not always the number one, but this had 3.3 million views when I looked at it.
And the Cold Open always, or not always, but most times it has the most views.
It does, but this one by far.
This one
the next one was 1.1.
Yeah.
So it had a significant amount. So
I think it benefits from people who are also hate watching.
Yep.
Like, oh, let's see how SNL made fun of me this week.
I'm George Santos.
That was right on.
Dead on.
Moving on, Emma Stone, Five Timers monologue. Actress Emma Stone returned to host SNL for the fifth time, and she talked about meeting her husband at the show with a cut to executive producer Lorne Michaels. I thought that was funny.
Who broke a little bit.
Stone was then inducted into the Five Timers Club by Tina Fey and Candice Bergen. Candice Bergen is, I think, 78 or 79 now. It makes me sad because I've always loved Candice Bergen. I think she's hilarious. And Tina Fey is drinking vampire's blood because she is not aging
at all. I like now that they've done things in the monologue to reference this rather than making it the cold open, making it a sketch. I like to recognize it. I like to move on, because the unless it's going to be a really well written sketch, all it is applause for the guest stars, and it's literally like 10 to 20 seconds of applause for each one, and it feels like just a big waste to me.
So
I'm the opposite actually. I like when they do a proper Five Timer sketch, and that's why I was a little bit disappointed in this one, and I've been disappointed in some of the more recent ones actually, because I don't.
I recognize it and move on.
The Paul Rudd one.
Yeah, I mean, and that one
that's tough.
That one had because they had to do like a makeup one.
Poor Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I feel like they could have done a real great one for him.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I like when they have fun bringing back Martin Short and Steve Martin, and have Dan Aykroyd running the bar and that kind of stuff. It's like a nice tradition, and I wish that they were able to do it more often.
Move on.
Especially since it doesn't happen very often.
I'm kind of with Brad here. I love it. Again, 24, 25 people. There's not a ton of
if
people.
it happened more often, then sure, don't do it. But like if it's such a rare thing, like have fun with it, you know? But I'm sure it depends on who's in town and who you can get to come around and do it and that kind of thing.
What's most important here that I want to talk about is Emma Stone's husband was like a segment producer or segment director or something on
Dave McCary
on SNL when she hosted.
Mm-hmm.
Who approaches who there? Hey, I think you're cute.
I mean, I would imagine they probably worked together on stuff.
I know,
and then just kind of struck up a conversation.
It's pretty ballsy, right? For
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
So I really think that she get her hands on a hot segment producer like Dave. What's him gonna call it?
Dave McCary.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave McCary, for those who don't know, directed a movie called Brigsby Bear, starring Kyle Mooney. And if you haven't seen Brigsby Bear, I implore you to go check it out.
Oh, please. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Very funny, very charming.
Well directed.
Yeah, just a fantastic movie. So please check that out if you haven't seen it.
All right, moving on. Question Quest. A contestant portrayed by Emma Stone wins a pet turtle that was previously owned by the game show host, Michael Longfellow. The show also includes Heidi Gardner and Punky Johnson as other contestants.
This is the perfect game show. This is the perfect game. This is so good. It's so fucking specific.
Yep.
And it's so quote kind of mean.
Yeah.
But and Michael Longfellow, it got settled with me, so now I'm gonna give it. It's just
game shows are an important part of SNL.
Everything about this
Longfellow killed it as the host.
Crushed it. And then who played the handler? Was it the new?
Yeah, Chloe Troast. Yeah.
So I watched it 3 times. And her bringing out the turtle, tortoise, and like fanfaring around it and everything. This was exactly perfect. And James Austin Johnson as the announcer, everything about this sketch I freaking loved.
3 cars.
He does such a good. Whoever the what's he? He's
so
doing an impression of the guy on Price is Right.
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is.
My
but
God, I mean, I haven't laughed that hard at the first sketch of the night in forever.
Yeah, what'd you think, Brett?
No, I love this sketch. This was so perfect for Michael Longfellow. Just the way he dryly responded to Emma Stone's incredulousness. And what's great about this sketch for Emma Stone, too, is she's playing the straight woman in the sketch, but she's still very funny in this sketch.
Absolutely.
She is so good. She really is. She's just got it when she's in the sketches. She brings it along really well.
Here's the next question. What do these 2 very famous people have in common? Charles Darwin and Steve Irwin. That's right. They owned the same tortoise because they're 190 years old.
Fun fact, that's true, actually. In case you didn't know that, Steve Irwin, crocodile hunter, did own a tortoise that was cared for by Charles Darwin.
I saw the fact. YouTube clip of Steve Irwin celebrating the tortoise's 168th birthday.
And as we all know, he outlived Steve Irwin.
All right.
That's a real stab in the gut.
Moving on. Fully Naked in New York, written by Dan Bulla, Bowen Yang, Celeste Yim, and Allison Gates. A group of people, including Emma Stone, Bowen Yang, Andrew Smukes, Chloe Feynman, Punky Johnson, Sarah Sherman, Marcella Hernandez, and Chloe Troast, share what cheers them up during the winter. This is a pre-tape. I don't know if I mentioned it enough.
Did you like the game show sketch, Nate?
I did.
We didn't really get that.
No, I liked it a lot. And I loved Michael Longfellow there. I love how the new cast members from last year just keep on finding themselves, and I feel like he's finding the niche.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For himself.
Him and Marcelo Hernandez are really rising to the top here.
Yep. I feel like Molly Carney found that a little earlier.
Yep.
But these guys are starting to, and it makes me really happy for them. I love musical theater. If you listen to our other podcast, Go Flix Yourself, you know that I'm a big musical theater nerd. And so this had the makings of a musical theater movie song. I loved the song. It was hilarious. I didn't
I still don't understand it.
I don't understand it necessarily. Like I don't. Oftentimes, they're trying to make fun of or trying to make light of or trying to turn something into something that we all feel. This was not for me. I don't feel like going naked often, even when I'm at home, and so
this was just straight up absurdity.
It made me laugh. The song was fun. Bowen Yang was great. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, this just came out of nowhere. It's such a weird sketch to have so early in the show. Like, I can't believe this isn't a 10-to-1 sketch. It just goes to show you, again, how much like they've been able to shift alt comedy into the show and just weave it in there without having it stand out in the 10-to-1 slot. But it's so funny.
I think one of my favorite parts about this is nothing is sexualized.
No.
In fact, like they're talking about their flabby butts in the wind. Like they're making it non-sexual, even though it's clearly a very naked sketch here.
Just the fact that they're all endlessly smiling.
Yeah, and it's so weird.
And the song itself, it sounds like it should be in like Tick Tick Boom or something.
That's what I'm saying.
It
felt very musical theater.
Yeah, just a real Broadway song. It feels like. But yeah, man, it's just so funny. And that Sarah Sherman coming out of nowhere to be like creepy and trying to catch rats. Yeah, I absolutely love this. It was very
another
funny.
sketch. I will say it probably a dozen more times, but another sketch that Emma Stone just sold out and went for and just killed it.
Yeah.
She's just so funny.
100%.
Riding on the back of a garbage truck, fully naked in the middle of New York City.
I want the album.
Yeah, you don't like musicals.
I do now.
All right.
I would love to watch a musical where
Bowen Yang is just dead ass.
absolutely high-fiving garbage men,
with a sunburn on his tush,
spilling garbage juice on his feet.
even though he's got hard nipples because it's very cold.
All right, moving on. Tree lighting gig. The return of Treese Henderson, played by Kenan Thompson, includes him singing Christmas songs. The sketch also features Emma Stone and Bowen Yang as Treese's band members, with Yang filling in for Kyle Mooney after he left the show in the 47th season. Now, guys, Treese Henderson, played by Kenan Thompson, as I said, has appeared in 5 different sketches. What are the other 4?
I mean, they did this exact thing.
Yeah, did you guys know this was a recurring?
Yeah. There was holiday gig, Halloween gig.
Correct.
Arbor Day gig.
I forget what they're all called gig though. Something
Summer gig.
Yeah.
And dive bar gig.
There you go.
Martin Freeman episode was the holiday gig in 2014. Dive bar was Ryan Gosling in the 2017 episode. Halloween gig was Seth Meyers in the 2018 episode. And summer gig has been since we've done the show. It was the Natasha Lyonne episode.
It's crazy to me that like 9 years ago, that was the first one in 2014. That's crazy.
Then somebody's like, we haven't really done that lately. But
I don't know. I mean, this was a little bit of a low point for me in the episode. It didn't really work as well as I wanted it to, even though there is escalation between like the flooding in the house and him talking about it, like bringing it up more and more. It just didn't really go anywhere.
I did laugh at the constant references to schooner boots.
Yeah,
just because of the way Kenan Thompson was saying it was funny. But easily the best part of the sketch, though, was whenever Emma Stone was blown into that trumpet, because her facial expressions
and her timing.
Yeah, her timing was great.
It's perfect.
It was really, really well. Usually people don't know how to do that very well comedically, whether because they're not ready for the sound effects cue or because they don't know how to mimic, but she did a fantastic job.
Is it just me, or does Kenan Thompson play like a band leader musician often?
What's up with that?
There's several different versions where he plays the leader of a band. Yeah. But yeah, this was I didn't even think this was a bad sketch. It just wasn't as good as the rest of the episode. And for an episode that is mostly really good, it stands out a little bit because it's not so good.
And I don't remember these. I remember them doing this in the Natasha Lyonne episode. I don't ever remember an iteration of this where I'm like, oh, let's keep doing this.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like I remember them, but I don't remember being like, please bring that back.
Strangely, I do remember what Martin Freeman looked like in his, because I'm pretty sure he looked like a Kenny G. Sack.
He did.
Correct.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
And I didn't go back and watch it. Maybe I should, but
and maybe is half the premise like dressing the host up as something that they don't normally look like? I don't know, because Emma Stone was just kind of
they usually give them like a kind of a funny haircut.
Well, she had an accent.
Yeah, but her hair was kind of wild a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a sketch to feature the host being silly.
Yeah.
Right? And all of them kind of have that. So.
Fair enough.
All right. Next, Please Don't Destroy AI. After a hard drive malfunction ruined Emma Stone's Please Don't Destroy video, AI technology came to the rescue. Brad, you are a film critic. You have strong opinions of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a little too close for you?
A little too close to home?
No, because if anything, this just takes AI down a peg.
Where it belongs.
Yeah. Welcome back. Please Don't Destroy.
Yeah.
This was one of the better ones they've had in a few episodes. Not that they've ever been terrible necessarily.
Yeah.
They're
never the worst sketch of the
night. Yeah, feels like they've just been a little bit of a slump lately. Haven't been as great as they usually are. But this one felt like it was on par again.
But mainly because of Punky Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, Punky was amazing.
Well, that and just the very unsettling AI mask that they used of Emma Stone's face.
Good Lord, Punky crushed it. It was so funny to me. She was great.
That was very funny. The visual effects do a lot of comedy, especially when they change Martin and have Marcelo Hernandez under him, and then changing Johns too. That was really funny.
I would like to know how big the team is that's doing the VFX and the.
Or sorry, not Martin, Ben.
Yeah, get it right.
Yeah, he's gonna be offended now. We're gonna hear about that.
Sorry, Ben.
Because you've got this, pretty ambitious pre-tape that they did with the song, and they've got different, backgrounds. They're driving through New York. Obviously, those are all VFX kind of stuff. But I wonder how big the team is, because even just in this VFX stuff, to make it look so bad, had to take some skill, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how big the SNL team is, because it's not like they've been working on that for 4 weeks. You have 1 week to do it.
I mean, think about what they did with, the Pedro Pascal Mario Kart sketch and stuff like that. And they
just impressed by him.
They just have a great team. Yeah, they really do.
How quickly they can turn these things around.
Yeah, no, this is a very, very good sketch.
All right, moving on. What's in the Kiln? Written by Chloe Feynman and Brian Tucker. This sketch features a woman, played by Emma Stone, discussing her pottery with 2 hosts, Heidi Gardner and Chloe Feynman. Ben, what did you think about this one?
This definitely feels like they're trying to do the 80 Bryant, Kate McKinnon thing, or even Delicious Dish, or any of that pairing. So this is a kind of a tried and true formula for SNL,
where
you take a couple of awkward hosts that have very specific personalities and a very niche hobby.
Not always realizing what they say or the connection or the connotation that they're referring to.
The difference here, so something that I didn't love this, but the thing that I did really enjoy about it was, instead of them kind of all being on the same page of like, this is like, our art is very good and we believe in it, it pulled back the carpet or the curtain a little bit on bad pottery, right? Where they were like, they even saw, Emma Stone's work and we're like, oh yeah, it's not really great. That was a little different than normally what you'd see with the dynamic. So I appreciated that a lot. I think it wasn't as funny as it could be, but I can see the groundwork here for some good.
Yeah, I could easily see this turning into a fun recurring sketch, because there is some good stuff here. The characters especially are fun. It's subtle comedic work when it comes to the voices, and I really appreciated that, because it felt like it came from an authentic place of like how they created those characters.
Yeah,
and you just gotta love how easy it is for Emma Stone to fit in with this cast. She can do anything and everything, like whether it's voice work, physical comedy, she's just fantastic all around. And the way she easily fit in with Chloe Feynman and Heidi Gardner doing their thing, like it was fantastic.
Yeah. What a good ensemble.
Yeah, I am in the same boat with Ben, where I didn't love this sketch. I do think there's potential for it to grow and become something that could be even funnier if they wanted to try it again. But I still liked it.
But I also specifically enjoyed, like you're talking about the voice work.
Yeah.
When either Heidi Gardner or it was Heidi and who?
Chloe Feynman.
Sorry, Chloe Feynman and Heidi, and one of them had said like, every time we give this gift to our family, it's always met with the same reaction. And then I can't even do the voice. Like, wow. That was perfect. I laughed hard at that.
The joke that I like the most actually is when they bring out that creepy face mug, and the way Chloe Feynman talks about it. She says, it never looks dirty because it never looks clean.
Such good jokes.
Let's compare the two. What I think you guys both said they're kind of middling sketches, not bad, but not great. Which one do you like better, Tree Lighting Gig or What's in the Kiln?
Oh, What's in the Kiln is better for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Weekend update. Hey, Ben, can you explain real quickly for our listeners that might just be checking in now what the Bradometer is?
If you're checking in with us for the very first time, thanks for being here. Right?
Hey, welcome.
Smash that subscribe button. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. The Bradometer is a metric between 0 and 100 for how Nate and I, how Brad feels the unspoken connection. And
emotional, spiritual, mental
spoken connection between Michael Che and Colin Joestar. So we try to guess. Like a 50% would be like, it was fine. But 80 to 90%, wow, there was a lot of inside jokes. They were talking to each other.
Brad was real
high-fived each other. There was real charisma between the two of them. So that's what we try to figure out every week. And this week, Nate, I think this one's high. I think this is
higher than it's been. It's higher.
I'm going 79.
Ooh, that's pretty.
It's pretty high.
Oh, I think it's high too. You know what? Because I have been wrong a lot more than I've been right here. So I'm gonna go. I feel like it's a little lower, but I'm gonna go higher because I'm gonna go against my gut.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 85.
Oof, guys, you're both very close, but Ben wins. It's 80.
No. Oh, yeah.
Price-
I went
Price is
over.
Right.
I went
Yeah,
over.
Price is Right rules, buddy. So.
Come on. You try to change it every time.
It doesn't matter, by the way, because you're still closer.
Yeah. You're still only one away.
I know, but also every time it's over for Nate, he's like, "Ooh, but I'm closer." Like, you know, that's not how we do this.
Yeah, 80 for sure. They were definitely
85 was a little higher. I thought, but
having some chuckles at each other.
a little bit of a chuckle fest.
Shay had a joke at Colin's expense. You gotta love that.
You like that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was some good camaraderie.
Some looks
between the two.
longingly at each
Yeah, of
other.
course.
About, like, did you have a joke that you liked?
From
Let me refresh you. So here's a couple of the jokes.
like a lot of the jokes.
George Santos being the sixth member of Congress to be expelled. They had a joke about that. A BLM co-founder coming out in support of Trump. Melania Trump attending Rosalind Carter's funeral. Sports Illustrated writing articles using AI. The first Lifetime Christmas movie featuring a sex scene. And a 3-year-long cruise canceled due to a lack of a ship. Which just the concept alone just makes me fun.
My personal favorite one was Colin Jost talking about people looking up the definition of Riz.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you have to look it up, bitch, you ain't got it.
I love that.
I liked the Melania Trump funeral joke. It's like partners can live that long. That was decent.
Unfortunately, I think that Che fumbled the punchline for
his
what
WNBA
would have
joke?
been his chauvinist joke of the night, and that would have been hilarious if he pulled it off. But he fumbled it too much to make
he
it
screwed
work.
up the he got the punchline right, but he said a word that maybe
there was something that
some
didn't work
weird-
out as well as it was.
I don't think he misread the cue card.
Yeah.
Whatever the word.
he actually stumbled a couple times tonight.
Yeah,
Or last or whatever. Or Saturday. Whatever.
I think it's on Saturdays.
Yeah. I don't really remember. What's the show, guys?
All right, there was one weekend update bit, old-fashioned cigarette on banning vapes, written by Michael Longfellow, Brian Tucker, Colin Jost, Rosebud Baker, and Ben Silva. An old-fashioned cigarette, played by Michael Longfellow, appears on Weekend Update to discuss Australia's decision to ban nicotine vapes. Anytime you use a costume like that, I'm going to love it. I love a good costume. I love costume work.
Did you guys notice?
That it was actually smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
No, that's what I'm
impressive.
saying. It was a
Because
good
there wasn't a lot of smoke. It was just enough, and not everyone's going to notice that. That's some impressive work right there.
If you could give an Emmy for just this,
Oh, yeah.
they should. It was
it's just
perfect.
so good.
Michael Longfellow had me honestly almost tearing up. I was laughing so hard. It was so good. I watched it like 3 or 4 times.
His delivery is absolutely perfect. Like this is maybe
He excels at the Weekend
the
Update
most
bit. He's-
Norm Macdonald he's ever been
Yep.
is in this bit.
Yep.
Just perfect. I mean, just the way when he's talking about, he's like, you know what they call cigarettes in London, right? He's like, yeah, I know. Say it.
He's not gonna say it. And like cutting back to the Hitler photo twice.
Yeah.
It got me good.
It's so good. Yeah, he's just, man, Michael Longfellow, don't sleep on him because like he doesn't show up super often like this. But man, this bit
He had
was
an episode,
incredible.
He had an episode.
And
Well, just
I
all episode he did. Really
loved this
Oh yeah, the
sketch.
game show host, and then this, crushed it.
Dorks.
Yeah, dorks.
You know how I know he's really coming on the scene is that I've not called him Michael Longbottom once tonight.
There you go.
Good for you, buddy.
And if you're looking out for Michael Longfellow appearing more, check him out in Good Burger 2, which is now on Paramount Plus. Just throwing it out there.
What did you think of that, Ben?
I didn't see Good Burger 2.
Lots of SNL cameos in Good Burger 2, but we can talk more about that on our other podcast, Go Flix Yourself. If you like talking about movies and hearing people rap about movies and having
rap?
fun with movies.
Sometimes we rap.
Yeah, we've done raps
back and
before.
forth.
Yeah, we've done raps.
Anyway, Nate, I know you said you liked the costume, but did you like the content?
I did. It was hilarious. I really love Michael Longfellow. And when he's on, Weekend Update, Michael Longfellow is just a great iteration of Michael Longfellow. It's kind of like some of the cast members, that when they're going to sit in there, they're going to kill it. And I loved it.
Yeah,
Love this.
crushed it.
Love it. I told Ben this after we rewatched the bit while we were waiting.
Did you
for
guys get to watch it together?
No, actually, he watched it early because just the way the timing worked out,
Oh.
and I
We
watched
never
it
watch it
later in the
together.
day. So, but I think that I would love to see Michael Longfellow do a roast because I think that would be killer.
Yeah,
He'd be great.
He could probably do really well at a roast.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Make Your Own Kind of Music, written by Mike DeCenzo, Streeter Seidel, Jake Norman, and Mikey Day. Mama Cass, played by Chloe Troast, who is just now doing all the vocals.
Yep.
And her producer,
and deservedly so.
yeah, no, she's a freaking great voice. And her producer Emma Stone, who just killed that role, are discussing the potential of her song "Make Your Own Kind of Music." Okay, so another little tidbit for you, question for you. Mama Cass has been impersonated one other time on SNL, according to SNLarchives.net. Who did the impression?
I feel like I'm just gonna go on a limb and say it's Mike Myers.
No.
Oh,
Julia Sweeney.
No, it was in 1992. Any other guests?
1992.
it was in 1992. Then I'm gonna say it was
Chris Farley.
That is correct.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
It was in the
Because Mama Cass is a bigger
yeah, of
lady,
course.
right?
There was it was an Unforgettable where they were doing Unforgettable, and he does the Mama and they're doing like other people singing this because what was the guy that sang that? And his daughter did an iteration of that song
I forget.
back in 1992. I forget what Nat King Cole and Natalie King Cole. And so if you remember right, they re-released
probably
the
just
song.
Natalie Cole.
Yeah, that's probably right.
A couple of married old souls.
Natalie King Cole. You know what? Same middle name.
Yeah. And so they released that back in the early 90s. And so they did another one like, okay, now let's capitalize on it. It was a commercial with these other things. And so he played that.
I said I was going to take a couple plays off there, but I'm just going to keep guessing because it keeps working. Yeah.
Do it.
I'll get it again.
So I do want to give a shout out to Chloe Troast.
Yeah.
She killed those vocals.
And funny, at first I thought that they were using a backtrack,
Which often they do.
and she was lip syncing along to it. But then there was very subtle variations, and like, wow, she's just actually singing every time, and she sounds great.
And not to say she carried the sketch, but
Well, then Emma Stone said slow it down and do it like a hauntingly great, and she did slow
Phenomenal
it down. Yeah,
job.
it was good job.
and also like she doesn't have a ton to do in this sketch because she's just singing, but her facial work, I just want to give some credit to new cast members because she's really coming on, and I think it's really
I disagree. She had a lot to do here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like
she is the one pacing the entire sketch, and then having to break from the song to like interact and act, and then go right back to singing. That's incredibly difficult.
But Emma Stone,
how dare you?
was so.
If Emma Stone
zany.
doesn't get nominated for an Emmy for hosting this
Seriously.
episode of Saturday Night Live,
If this is the episode they don't put up,
yeah, and if
then
they don't use this sketch as the clip for why she was nominated, I mean,
seriously.
So you guys love this.
This is incredible. This is incredible. It's first of all the premise alone. Who wrote this? Because
written by Mike DeCenzo, Streeter Seidel, Jake Norman, and Mikey Day.
the idea that like, we're using all of these songs now.
Is there?
So what about going back and doing it? Who has
Because
that
I
idea?
feel
It's an
like
incredible idea.
I feel like obviously the concept of taking old songs and making them slower is a very popular thing that they're doing in trailers.
do it in movie
now.
trailers all
Sure.
the time.
They do it all the time, almost.
And they have been doing that for like the
Almost
last 5 to
Yeah, it's
10
almost getting a
years.
little overdone.
Sure.
But this one feels like they've done this in a movie or something that
so
I
many
don't
times.
know.
So the most famous iteration of it, as far as using it kind of
In a
strange,
scene of
a
something.
strange juxtaposition, is they used it to open the second season of Lost when they introduced Desmond as a character, because it's playing while he's like working out in his like underground hatch layer. And it's and then all of a sudden, like it's just a montage of him.
Do they do the same thing where they slow it down?
It's
or-
not slowed down. It's just it's playing on a record, so like it's playing within the scene.
Because back then they didn't really slow it
That's
down.
what I'm saying. Like
Everything
I
just
feel
normal.
like the whole idea of it being slowed down though is something that like happens.
They
now.
did use this song in the Barbie trailer.
Oh,
They did,
maybe
but they
that's
didn't.
what it
They didn't
was.
slow it down though. But they did use it. So yeah.
the fact that again that they thought about the types of songs that are used nowadays in trailers for horror movies and what would the original artists have thought about that.
Yep.
Such a great premise, and then the delivery again. Emma Stone, absolutely perfect. No notes. Absolutely perfect on her performance.
Physical performance, hilarious facial expressions. It's so funny.
Like knowing where the camera is to jut her hand up.
Yeah, timing the burr.
Oh my gosh, just wow, is she talented?
Just good stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Loved it.
Yeah, I'm assuming you liked it.
You know, she met her husband there, so there's hope for us.
You did enjoy though.
I did. I love it. I just this episode, as Brad has commented earlier, was just great, and I can watch Emma Stone do sketch comedy
All day long.
and
And she clearly loves it.
She has so much fun. We've talked about this so many times, but you can tell when sometimes, and I'm not gonna blame hosts. Sometimes they're so nervous. These kind of things where it's hard to have fun because you're just so nervous.
So
Emma Stone
brings me full circle on the Jason Momoa thing.
Yep.
Because he was having so much fun that he wasn't good.
Yeah.
Emma Stone was clearly having a good time, but she's still excellent as the role she was asked to play.
I know this is controversial, and Brad will probably disagree with me. I do think Emma Stone's a better actor than Jason Momoa, though.
But I'm telling you, you should be having fun while you're there, but also you're there to do a performance. And so if you get blinded by how much fun you're having and it doesn't really matter, it really kills the performance. Emma Stone is perfect.
You're a film guy, Brad.
Thank you. Oh,
no, we only pretend to be, Ben. Has Emma Stone done any other than Easy A? Has she done a lot of like comedy,
Superbad,
straight comedy? I mean, since being younger, I guess. Because it kind of makes me want to see her in more, even or just like a really good rom com.
No, I mean,
I love a good rom com.
She was in. This isn't the best example, but
Zombieland.
Yeah, well, I was going to say Zombieland, but yes, that's a great example.
I love Zombie. I love.
Aloha's
love
a romantic comedy, but obviously that's not the best example because it wasn't very well received. And
She's
Asian.
Is
it okay or no?
She's Asian.
I actually haven't seen it, but it was weird because she plays like a Hawaiian woman, and that was kind of just a
not like
weird,
an Irish woman.
Yeah, like a weird casting choice. But I'm trying to think aside from Zombieland, if there's anything other comedy stuff that she's done.
No, I mean La La Land is a performance, but it's not necessarily a comedy. But she's still, and
she has funny moments in it for sure.
La La Land's great.
Crazy Stupid Love, right? Isn't that the one?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
And I loved her in that. Yeah. So I don't know.
What are you photoshopped?
Yeah,
that's a great delivery.
No, that's what I'm saying, and I loved her in that.
Cruella. She's very funny in Cruella as well.
Is she really? Is it really?
Did you ever see Cruella?
I didn't actually.
Oh, I'm going to sign that to you on Go Fix Yourself.
Good.
It is probably my.
Okay, you were both yelling at me.
Hey, you son of a! Hey!
The Favorite is a comedy. It's just a stranger comedy.
Is that the new one?
No, that's Poor Things.
Okay,
yeah, but same director.
Okay, I don't know if I saw The Favorite.
She's in Pop Star. Never Stop, Never Stopping. Brief role.
Oh. Talk about it.
She sings "Turn Up the Beef."
Turn up the beef.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, though.
So yes, she's been in plenty of.
I don't know. I would like one more. Give me one more.
She's also very young.
The Croods. We love the Croods, don't we?
Yeah, I like that.
I actually love the Croods.
I really do like those movies.
I didn't like the Croods very much.
Really?
You didn't like the Croods?
No.
Oh, Croods. You put a Croods 3 in front of me, and I'll watch it in a heartbeat.
They're good.
I love them. I really do.
I don't really like it very much.
I think you need to rewatch it.
Yeah,
I don't.
Give it a chance.
No, I'm good.
Was that the last sketch?
Nope.
Nope.
Posters. A boy played by Marcelo Hernandez falls asleep and asks his posters for help from MMA fighter Kenan Thompson, David Beckham, model Emma Stone, and video game character Ego Wodum. Chrissy Knox, the character that Emma Stone played, has now appeared in 3 of the 5 episodes that Emma Stone has done.
She has.
In the other 2 episodes, who was the student?
Oh, one of them.
Are you impressed with my questions
Kyle
tonight?
Mooney.
By the way,
Kyle Mooney.
I think Kyle Mooney, and I think I'm gonna say Mikey Day.
No.
Well, fuck me then.
Neither one.
Neither one. Pete Davidson was both.
Young Pete, of course.
Little Petey Pants.
Should have known old PDD.
Another question. No one has done an impression of David Beckham on SNL since 2015, because why would you? Who was the last cast member that did a David Beckham impression? In 2015. So I gave you a clue.
I mean, yeah, Alex
Moffat, I was going to say.
No.
Beck Bennett.
No.
Oh.
Leslie Jones.
Taron Killam in the Star Wars audition.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. All right, let's talk about this sketch though. What did you guys think? This is obviously something they've done before 3 other times. Did you like this?
You know what's interesting? So I went and looked back to see what I thought the first time that they did this because I wasn't sure how long ago they
were you writing reviews
this
then or no?
I was sure.
I didn't know if you like went back to your notes or you just kind of rewatched the sketch.
No. The first one was in 2016, right? You don't have it written down?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was 2016, and I was writing reviews at that point at Slash Film, so I had written about it, and I actually didn't like it very much at the time, and I don't know if it was. I didn't go back and watch that first one. I don't know if it was like a timing thing or if like it just didn't work as well as it should. I said that the premise,
or you just got more mature with your comic.
Maybe. I mean, I said the premise was funny.
I don't know if that's true.
But this iteration of it was very funny, and I don't know if it's because Emma Stone has maybe like hammed it up more as the character because it's been recurring.
I like that the kind of the in joke that that he doesn't look like David Beckham, like in the breaking. That was perfect to me. That was, I mean, I love Emma Stone in this, but that was the point of the sketch I really liked, because like when Keenan goes back to it, oh man, it really had me going. I really liked it.
Yeah, no, that Mikey Day almost breaking because of that was very funny too.
It's like, no, I definitely am David Beckham. So
I don't know if that line was ad-libbed or if it was just what it was, but I
actually brought that up to Brad, because like when Kenan Thompson brings it up the second time, like it feels ad-libbed.
Yeah, it feels like they knew that they were doing.
You know,
and maybe because Emma Stone's such a good performer that they can have a little more fun. The cast member, they're not worried. You know, it's like when Emma Stone does it, when Travis Kelce does it, the cast members just know they can have fun.
They can have a good time.
That's true. Yeah, everyone knows that. Like when you have a great host like Emma Stone, and you have one who can like barely walk and talk like Travis Kelce, like the cast member can have more fun.
Also, listen, I don't want to say it. I think that Emma Stone is a wonderful performer. I love her, and we've been singing her praises. She got a nice butt. There, I said it. Listen, it's part of the sketch, and I feel like.
She did feature that part. Yes, she did feature that part.
Hell yeah, she did.
She is not an ugly person.
No, yeah, she's beautiful.
Not in the least. I will say I think Marcelo Hernandez had a perfect delivery. It was like, no, I'm good. Just looking back,
yeah, no, I'm good.
Those guys, though, again, those 4 new cast members of last year, then add Chloe Troast. You've got the future of SNL there.
They're doing great, and we can't forget either. They already had a good new influx of people with Sarah Sherman, James Austin Johnson,
sure.
Punky Johnson, who really has been
Punky has come alive.
Yeah,
this year.
she's been standing out a lot more, and I've really liked what she's been doing.
I wouldn't say critical, but we just lamenting the fact that she has not found her role, and she's
get more of her niche.
It took her a little while to pop, but yeah, and Molly Carney obviously has been doing fantastic as well. So yeah, just the roster of talent over the past 2 to 3 years.
The future is bright.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would be remiss not to go one more time to Emma Stone in this sketch. The adjectives are fantastic. It's on this crunchy, gummy, greasy,
big rusty nut.
By the way, you know who we didn't just talk about there is the Please Don't Destroy guys. They're also new.
Yeah,
they're only.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Like right, and they just seem so regular now but they've only been there. Last year was their first season, right?
No, 2021.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
But we didn't. Did we even mention Devin Walker?
No, we didn't mention Devin Walker
because
I will say I think Devin Walker is kind of in the same position that Punky Johnson was before, where he hasn't necessarily had a huge breakout yet.
He's had a couple things that he's done pretty well in.
He's been good in sketches. He's a reliable straight man, but he hasn't yet popped as like I really like Devin Walker when he does this.
He's the weakest of that group, but I do think there's something for him.
There's more time. We need to give him more time for sure.
Yeah, but he does fill a good role on the show, even if he's not always like standing out as like a big comedic player.
You're right though. Each cast member kind of fills that niche.
They find their voice.
Michael Longfellow seems to find that Norm Macdonald kind of niche. Marcelo Hernandez is he's got that kind of energy to him.
Yes. He's just vibrant.
Yes, he is. All right, moving on.
Hilarious.
Final sketch of the night. The 10-1 Diet Coke by Olay. Written by Celeste Yim and Allison Gates. 4 women, Chloe Feynman, Heidi Gardner, Ego Wodum, and Sarah Sherman, try a Diet Coke version of Olay. I'm sure this was funny.
It seemed pretty basic.
That's exactly what I said in my review.
Seemed like a commercial they do in the 90s, kind of.
Yeah, because like it's an amusing premise. Obviously, Diet Coke is very popular among the ladies.
I drink it every day. So,
like I said, it's popular among the ladies.
Wow!
Whoa!
Hey, this guy doesn't know things. And so it felt like a very simple premise of like, oh yeah, it'd be funny if Diet Coke was a lotion and put sticky pop on your face.
I don't know.
Got it.
Very strange.
The visuals were sure. Like seeing them splash Diet Coke on their face was funny, but yeah, it felt like they needed a little something more to like actually be worth doing.
And maybe this speaks to the fact that we are used to naked on a garbage truck now.
Yeah,
where it's not enough to take a normal product.
It's not silly enough.
You gotta amp it up.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. It felt little 90s where you do a kind of a different mock-up of a regular product, and it's still
little
funny.
Chocolate donuts.
That's not the 90s even. That's the 70s.
Or
you keep going.
Colon blow.
There you go. There's the 90s. We're back.
All right.
Oops, I crapped my pants.
All right, good job.
So let's go to MVP of the night. Which cast member do you think did the best job?
Should we all say at the same time? Ready?
One,
two,
two,
three.
Emma
Michael Longfellow.
Stone.
Oh.
It's clearly Emma Stone.
I was gonna say Emma Stone because I think she should win an award for this.
Yeah,
I think she was great.
But here's the thing. We've talked about this before. You can't give it to Emma Stone because she's going to be good. That's to be expected. Like she already proved that she was fantastic.
You can't tell me what I can and can't do this in America. But here's the thing:
she absolutely proved that she's fantastic on SNL4. She fits right in.
But
if a host goes above and beyond, but this was not.
I'm sorry.
But
we're watching two different episodes.
You don't think she went above and beyond?
But I expect it from her though. Like
what are you, my dad?
Hosts.
I expected that you'll do everything perfect.
Hosts who I also wouldn't give the MVP award to: Ryan Gosling, Adam
Hanks.
Driver, Justin Timberlake, sometimes Tom Hanks.
Wow.
Tom Hanks has hosted so many times, and he's not great on all of them. Let's be honest.
Do you need to take a nap or something?
Okay, but here's the thing: is you did mention earlier that you think she should win an Emmy for this.
Absolutely, but under the parameters. But under the parameters,
we agree she's not the best part of the show.
But under the parameters,
Do you think she should have won an Emmy for every other four other ones that she did?
I don't remember enough about all of them, but I'm sure that she was. But I know that she was great enough.
Got him.
I know she was great enough the last time she hosted that I was confident that this episode was going to be great.
Lawyered.
Michael Longfellow was the MVP of the night.
I mean, if it had to be a cast member, yes, it would be
I would say yes. That's a fine number 2.
Okay, thank you. So everyone, at the same time again, MVP.
Emma Stone.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that.
1, 2, 3. Punky
Michael
Johnson.
Longfellow.
Punky did great this episode.
No, she did. Michael Longfellow, though. I mean,
No,
actually, a lot of cast members did great this episode.
Question Quest and the cigarette, just top notch.
I'm with you, guy.
Stuff.
I think Brad, you said this earlier. Probably best episode of the season so far.
Yes,
100%.
Yes.
Yeah,
best episode of the season.
All right, let's go to sketch of the night. What did you guys think? I'll go with mine first. I really love the Fully Naked in New York sketch, the pre-tape. I love musical sketches, music videos. I really love that one. I'm going to go with that.
Okay, Ben?
Plus, it was an earworm.
Michael Longfellow has a cigarette.
No.
I know you don't let me do it, so I'm doing it.
No, I thought we can't pick that one.
No, it's if I can't pick Michael Longfellow, then it's the Mama Cass.
Interesting.
Mama Cass is great. I love that one.
The one I actually went with was Question Quest.
I was toss up for me, honestly.
You know, it's a good episode when the three of us can't agree what the best sketch is.
But but Fully Naked in New York City was very close, as Mama Cass was Mama Cass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could have picked it.
I almost gave it to Question Quest because it's, like I said, it's been a long time since the first sketch after the monologue had just come out of the gates and made me laugh hysterically. So.
And plus, I love when they take something as common as the game show trope and do something fresh with it.
I think maybe I just have some lag for the game show trope because they've done it so much.
It's a reliable sketch show format. Yeah.
Not always great.
Right, of course.
And so it's often just
what do you think? I think
mid.
my favorite version of the game show was Meet Your Second Wife. It's the best. If you're a listener, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler co-hosted together, I believe, and it was it's a game show premise where the current male contestants meet their second wives.
That's right, and it's in the future.
It's in the future.
Yeah. And one of them is a child. Yeah,
it's incredible. You'll laugh your ass off. It's edgy. When people comedy on SNL isn't edgy anymore. It's very edgy.
I don't know who would say it's not edgy because maybe conservatives that just think that SNL only makes fun of conservatives and so they're not. But there's some great alt comedy now that
seriously,
is edgy.
I'm so happy with this episode. I was getting a little worried, a couple episodes in a row that weren't great, and I'm such a fan. And I remember thinking going into this weekend that I hope this episode was good because I don't want people that listen to this podcast to think that we don't like it because like the past couple ones we've really kind of shit all over them. Yeah. And so I'd like to just say that we try to hold them accountable for no reason whatsoever.
As real fans are. But what's interesting is typically there'll be a lull in one of the parts of SNL, but it's been a lull in a lot of the parts. So even Police Don't Destroy, like Brad said, hasn't been great. Weekend Update's been slumping a little bit.
Well, and this goes back to the whole idea of like I've said this on this podcast before, and I say it all the time, and it's a hill that I'll die I hate whenever anybody says SNL isn't funny anymore. SNL is always funny, and the only reason anyone ever thinks that their favorite iteration of the cast is the funniest is because you only ever see the funniest sketches they ever did. They don't ever do worst of episodes where they have montages of terrible sketches. No one remembers the terrible sketches. Yep. You always remember the good ones. You think that's how good it always was, and that's never the case. You watch any episode of SNL, it has highs, it has lows, it has middles. That's what makes it.
Except for the Travis Kelce episodes, were all highs.
Oh my god!
But Adam Sandler, to your point, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, David Spade, Dana Carvey, they all had bad sketches.
Of course, exactly. So like, if you think that you're not paying attention, you don't deserve comedy, you don't deserve happiness.
Whoa!
To answer your question from earlier, one of my favorite the recent iterations of the game show was when they did What's That Name, where they initially start off by having you identify celebrities, and then they bring out someone who that
like
person
the doorman.
Is supposed to. Hey, what's his name?
He's held the door for you every day for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
It's your best friend Todd's girlfriend of 4 years. What's her name?
And also the Jeopardy that they did with Tom Hanks on Black Jeopardy.
Oh, that was.
I know that's.
I know you don't like Tom Hanks.
That's
but
I know you're not a fan, but and I know also that that's not your typical game show sketch because it's Jeopardy, which is a different thing. But still, oh my god,
no, it is a game show.
Great.
That was funny. Good stuff, guys.
All right, what do we have coming up? Do we have another episode next week?
Guys, we are closing out 2023 with a banger trio of episodes. So we just had the great Emma Stone. Fantastic. Wonderful.
Top-notch.
Emmy-winning performance, hopefully.
Beautiful, talented, all of them.
We have 2 potential other candidates for that same title, I think.
Ooh.
Coming next week, we have Adam Driver returning to host Saturday Night Live.
And it'll be his 4th, I think, time. He's inching up closer to 5.
Yeah, may the 4th be with him.
Oh boy. and
then closing out the year, the week after on
the 16th,
December 16th, we have former SNL cast member Kate McKinnon returning to the show.
There were some people I read on Reddit that were like, "It's a little soon for her to be back."
Yeah, it was also
Pete Davidson was just
there are several other examples before that too. Typically, when cast members leave, they usually come back within at least 2 years.
Is Kate McKinnon doing anything right now? Does she have a movie or something? Or, I am super excited. So I don't care if she's just sitting at home and they invite her back.
I'm not really sure. I think it's just great to have Kate McKinnon back for the Christmas episode of all things.
So excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We're going to get a Whiskers, are we?
Maybe. Will they bring 80 Bryant back?
I don't know. I hope that
they better
we're going to get a bunch of people.
They better
back.
bring 80.
At the very least, we'll probably get a last call sketch, probably.
That would be good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
And then that's usually all we know in advance. They only release a couple at a time, and then in January they'll be back.
Well, and plus we're going to be on hiatus for a little bit longer anyway because they probably won't be back until about mid to late January because the hiatus lasts over the holidays for a little longer.
What's our next SNL movie we're supposed to watch? Maybe we'll do that.
Stuart
Saves His Family.
Well, we'll probably not. We'll wait.
That sounds like a heartwarming Christmas movie, fellas.
Yeah, Nate, you love Christmas movies.
You know
I
you love
Christmas
Christmas.
movies.
Boy.
All right. Hey, if you enjoy this podcast, please do rate and subscribe and do all the things that you're supposed to do with podcasts. Let us know. Go to whatever our website is. What is it? the10to1.com.
The10to1.com.
And
hey, how do you spell the10to1.com?
With letters.
It's literally 3-letter words.
It's a 1 2-letter word.
There's no numerals.
No numerals.
The10to1.com.
The tent.
We're going to be on break over the Christmas season, so if you just like hearing Ben's voice or Brad's voice or my voice, listen to Go Flix Yourself. Go to Go Flix Yourself Pod or just search wherever you find podcasts. You can find us there as well. And join in on the fun and all the movies we get to talk about. Now, Brad, you are on the internet, correct? Have you gotten on the World Wide Web?
Yes. Please check out my full Saturday Night Live reviews the morning or afternoon after new episodes air. You can see them at slashfilm.com.
And that's HTTP.
colon
S
is
it an
slash,
S? Is it an S after the
I don't fucking know.
www.slashfilm.com. And that's all words too.
Is it just a slash?
AOL keyword fuck up.
Whoa! I got real aggressive there at the end. And you can find Nate and me
We're on ICQ.
It's fine.
We're on the ICQ.
Oh.
I can't do it. I keep trying to make my voice.
Do it.
Oh, jeez.
You sound like a
Ben's
dolphin.
ICQ is dying.
All right. Hey, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Most importantly, thanks for listening to SNL. We appreciate you. Check back in next week. We'll be back. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Bye-bye.